iPhone 17 Pro Max vs OnePlus 13, preview and expectations. Alright, at this point, it's scarcely a secret that we are waiting for another batch of iPhones to arrive around the end of summer, right? Apple regularly unveils its new phone models around September, and there's no reason to expect 2025 will be different. There's also no reason to suppose there won't be an iPhone 17 Pro Max yet again. On the contrary, we've even seen a few leaks concerning the top-tier iPhone. The issue now is how is it going to compare against the top-tier Samsung phone? Regular Samsung phone, of course. We are not going to be touching on the Z Fold 7 here. The Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra released in early 2025 and has had plenty of time to develop momentum. How do we believe it will compare to the freshly released iPhone 17 Pro Max when it comes out? Let's see what we know. Numerous leaks have been reinforcing a design shift in the iPhone series. Instead of the single off-center camera square we had previously, there's going to be a horizontal bar on the rear now. Considering how frequently this leaks, it is certainly true, or has been at some time, but we have no clue what the rationale for such a huge shift may be. Is it aesthetics, or does Apple require extra space for some unique hardware? Oh, it's room for the AI brain. That's why we couldn't receive the Siri upgrade in March. The OnePlus 13 has its own unique appearance, with the huge circular camera on the back and variable finishes, depending on what color you chose. It may be glossy or leather eye. While the iPhone will most likely include the action button and camera control button, plus the conventional volume and power buttons, the OnePlus 13 also boasts a unique hardware switch of its own, the mute slider. It has 3 levels for perfect quiet, vibration, or sound on. The iPhone 17 Pro Max should include a 6.9-inch Liquid Retina XDR OLED display with dynamic 1 to 120 Hz ProMotion, exactly as previously. The OnePlus 13 competes that with its own 6.8-inch AMOLED display with 120 Hz. The OnePlus 13 indeed features the impressive-sounding 4,500 nit peak brightness, but that's a brief measurement for a tiny part of the screen. It won't be much brighter in general than the iPhone, as it's not much brighter than the iPhone 16 Pro Max. The iPhone 17 Pro Max should still include a dynamic island cutout, the pill-shaped housing for the selfie camera, and Face ID sensors. But speculation is that it may be a little bit smaller. The OnePlus 13, however, just features the little punch hole for its own selfie camera. Apple should have a new A19 Pro processor for the future iPhones, probably produced using a 3nm technology, while weak whispers have indicated 2 nanometer. It's perhaps a little early for this development. In any event, the Apple A18 Pro was already amazing, and if Apple gets improved heat management with the A19 Pro, it should be fantastic. Same applies for the 3nm Snapdragon 8 Elite inside the OnePlus 13. It rivals Apple's technology and, depending on manufacturer and execution, can even attain sustained performance. While the OnePlus 13 isn't a gaming phone or anything, it has some very remarkable thermal management, helping to keep test results high for longer. It appears like the iPhone 17 Pro Max could finally crack the 12GB RAM barrier, and honestly, it makes sense. Apple has generally been cautious regarding RAM, concentrating instead on strong hardware-software interaction. But the game is shifting. With AI capabilities progressively becoming a mainstay in Apple Intelligence pushing more on-device processing, the need for extra RAM is no longer optional, it's critical. We already saw a handful of 2024 Apple Gear secretly modified to enable these new possibilities. Rumor has it that 2025 iPhones are receiving 12 gigs of RAM across the board, not only for performance today, but to keep them relevant during Apple's customary 5+ year support term. The OnePlus 13 already comes with 12 gigs RAM at its lowest 256 gigs storage tier, but goes up to 16 gigs RAM on the 512 gigs variant. The iPhone 17 Pro Max will presumably feature the same choices as previously, 256 gigs minimum, then 512 gigs and 1TB upgrades. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is rumored to launch with iOS 19, which, if the murmurs hold true, should come with a new coat of paint that pulls significantly from the sleek, glassy vibes of Vision OS. Think translucency and layered UI aplenty. On the Apple Intelligence side of things, we could finally see some meaningful movement. After the company's very dismal performance with iOS 18, read, Big promises, little follow-through. It's reasonable to assume the Cupertino staff is now in full-on scramble mode, attempting to whip up something that at least looks like progress. OnePlus 13 came with Android 15 early this year, with a mild reskin and light on the AI capabilities. OnePlus did toss a handful in there, but most of them are the responsibility of Google's Gemini, since it comes included with Android anyhow. Update guarantee promises 4 years of Android upgrades, 6 years of security support. Apple puts everything at the camera, and it does show. iPhones are highly consistent and trustworthy with images, certainly the best at shooting video. The OnePlus 13 costs roughly $300 less than the current iPhone 16 Pro Max, so it will surely be more inexpensive than the 17 Pro Max. But it doesn't imply its cameras are $300 poorer. OnePlus has been putting a lot of power and Hasselblad relationship behind that too. After Apple upgraded its primary, ultra-wide, and zoom cameras to incorporate high-res sensors, we now anticipate the front-facing camera to receive some love, but nothing too drastic. A rise from 12 megapixels to 24 megapixels. We'll see what benefits that brings. The OnePlus 13 feels incredibly pleasant with its triple cameras, allowing a lot of variety and really high quality. It received 145 total points on our camera benchmark test, which is just 9 points behind the iPhone 16 Pro Max. We don't anticipate that the 17 Pro Max would extend that margin by much. Apple's iPhones don't spend a lot on big batteries. They accomplish longevity using hardware and software enhancements. That said, the Pro Max devices have felt the push from the other top-tier rivals, and every year inch closer and closer to the 5000 mAh cell, which is now typical in Android line. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is expected to feature between 4700 and 5000 mAh. Meanwhile, OnePlus has already cleared that barrier handily, giving a fairly durable OnePlus 13 with its 6000 mAh battery that also charges rather feast with the proprietary 100-watt charger. The iPhone 17 Pro Max will very possibly be another incremental step forward. Mostly trustworthy, predictable, with a high performance and decent quality overall, all priced comfortably north of $1,000. It's a well-known bundle, and one that people apparently don't mind paying for, since they either appreciate the ecosystem, like what they receive, or simply prefer the constancy you get with an iPhone. That's so the OnePlus 13 is not actually a dangerous buy. The firm has now been operating for quite a long. It has had its peaks, it has had its troughs. The OnePlus 13 is a well-polished product, which wouldn't let you down, and we never have a problem recommending it to anybody searching for a flagship below the $1,000 barrier. Next, a new video showcases all design modifications. Apple is presently working on the forthcoming iPhone 17 series. While everyone is enthusiastic about the predicted iPhone 17 Air, the iPhone 17 Pro is also thought to be promising. According to prior rumors, the iPhone 17 Pro is likely to provide significant advancements as compared to the iPhone 16 Pro. A new video demonstrates precisely what these improvements are, notably the design component. To be clear, these information are merely based on hearsay and leaks. Apple has not verified any specifications or features thus yet. A newly discovered video on X, supplied by tipster Majin Buu, gets a closer look at what's thought to be a dummy unit of the impending iPhone 17 Pro, giving details on one of its most striking design changes: a reworked camera module. Unlike the iPhone 16 Pro, which contains its camera system in the top left corner, the iPhone 17 Pro's module now runs horizontally over the back of the handset. This change in design has sparked parallels to Google's Pixel series, but many analysts say Apple's interpretation lacks the finesse of its competition. The arrangement contains an odd amount of empty space between camera lenses, flash, sensors, and microphone, a detail that's raised eyebrows. Speculation claims Apple may have plans to launch a specialized accessory to complement the new camera island, potentially a purpose-built cover. Apart from this apparent modification, the remainder of the iPhone 17 Pro's appearance remains essentially similar. The action button, volume keys, power switch, and camera control button all maintain their regular placements. Additionally, sources suggest that the display size will stay comparable with that of the iPhone 16 Pro, bolstering the assumption that this year's improvement would concentrate more on camera technology than an overhaul of the phone's general appearance. Other than the design, Apple is rumored to bring back the aluminum frame. Among the most significant is a likely move in materials after 2 generations of titanium frames with the iPhone 15 Pro and 16 Pro. Apple is now reported to use aluminum for the iPhone 17 Pro. This is a return to a material last utilized in a Pro iPhone before to the stainless steel iPhone X, suggesting a lighter, maybe more cost-efficient approach. Camera technology is predicted to witness the most significant increase. Leaks claim the front-facing camera across all iPhone 17 models might get a huge boost to a 24-megapixel sensor, a considerable leap above the 12-megapixel device in the current Pro versions. This would lead to sharper selfies and increased video quality, consistent with Apple's expanding concentration on content production and social media usage. Meanwhile, on the back, the iPhone 17 Pro Max may make new history by becoming the first iPhone to boast a trio of 48-megapixel lenses comprising a primary sensor, an ultra-wide, and a tetraprism periscope telephoto lens. The Pro models may also be fitted with a mechanical aperture, enabling users to manually regulate how much light enters the camera for improved results in varied lighting circumstances. Performance-wise, Apple is likely to showcase its next-generation A19 Pro CPU based on an improved 3-nanometer technology. While not yet progressing to the future 2-nanometer level, the A19 Pro should bring modest gains in performance and power efficiency compared to the A18 Pro utilized in the iPhone 16 Pro. Memory improvements are also on the cards. Reports claim that the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max will come with 12 gigs of RAM, a boost up from the 8 gigs present in previous Pro smartphones. This should translate into enhanced multitasking capabilities and smoother functioning overall. However, the normal iPhone 17 and the speculated iPhone 17 Air are believed to maintain 8 gigs of RAM. Battery performance is another topic garnering focus. The iPhone 17 Pro is rumored to feature a bigger battery, and Apple may expand on the advancements provided with the iPhone 16 series by making battery replacements easier. The same detachable adhesive strips that enabled simpler battery service on the iPhone 16 and 16 Plus may also be here, giving enhanced repairability for consumers. However, despite these developments, charging speeds are unlikely to alter. The iPhone 17 Pro is still projected to support a maximum of 35 watt for cable charging, which means consumers shouldn't expect any substantial changes in how fast the smartphone charges up. So, that's all we know for now. We'll be sure to keep you updated as soon as we have more information. Thanks for watching.